Bubble is beautiful there. We love our bubble.
Whether it's or a shot.
Fans from Asheville just happened to pop in.
Welcome.
So you want to?
Different characteristics of the Woodstock bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, different from the Boulder bubble.
Want to do some more reading? Or you have a book to sign?
Let me sign her book.
Oh yes.
Gotta sign her credit card slip, and then I'll sign her book now. Signatures.
Yeah.
And who shall I make this to? For.
You just make up something.
I
No,
need
she's
a
saying
name.
Jesse.
Jesse. People don't always buy books for And I actually do. I spend a little time with each book and ask each book, how would you like me to sign? And then I say, so wise woman with the child here. I sign baby. Like healing lies, I sign green blessings. Like down there, I sign wow.
Yeah.
And what this book wanted me to say was be well.
Oh, thank
So this is your inscription. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Jesse. So what are you going to do in the big city while you're here?
So we're visiting good friends.
All right.
And, yeah, my folks live upstate, so we're gonna
What-
have to.
what part of upstate?
A little bit north of Woodstock, like Kinderhook, Hudson.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
so
well,
spend a
nice,
couple
nice, and
days
it's
with
been
them.
so mild.
Yeah, I know. Like I mean, I
Really
dressed in my big
unusual.
warm coat. And
I know you're
stuff,
like
too.
all ready for like cold weather,
Yeah.
but like,
Sweating.
Yeah,
It's been a
exactly.
mild winter overall.
yeah,
so.
all around.
Yeah, so we're taking a little holiday.
Nice.
Yeah,
See
walk
the
away from that
friends.
wood fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think, okay, the
Yeah.
plumbing won't freeze.
Yeah.
A couple of days off.
That's it.
Okay. Well, have a happy Valentine's Day
Thanks.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
sure,
enjoy all that.
She's going to read from the book a little bit if you want to hang for that. Doing a little live feed here. Come on down to Flower Power, 406 East 9th Street in the Village.
In the village in New York City.
We're here till 8.
Hi, I'm Susan Weed, and I am reading from my new book, Abundantly Well. I see the wise woman flowing deep in our psyches. Healing impulses like mythic springs seep through our dreams and emerge into waking. The old wisdom bubbles to the surface. We vibrate with an ancestral beat. Old rivers flow in us. Mother to daughter, mother to son, spiraling down through the generations. In our dreams, the ancient grandmothers make themselves known. They whisper to us. They reawaken the wise woman within each of us. Note, woman includes all genders. It includes man as well as woman. So it is the inclusive term. She includes he as well as she, and it is also inclusive. Goddess includes God as well as goddess, and so it also includes all genders. These are the inclusive terms I will be using throughout this book. She, woman, and goddess. I see the wise woman. She carries a vast blanket of compassion. She wears robes of wisdom around her throat, flutters a veil of shifting shapes from her shoulders. A mantle of power flows. Story band encircles her forehead. She stitches a quilt. She spins fibers into yarn. She knits. She sews. She weaves. She ties the threads of our lives together. She forms a web of spiraling threads, intertwining our lives. I see the wise woman at her loom. It is warped with days of light and nights of dark. White threads, black threads receive her flying shuttle. A shuttle filled with threads of many colors. Threads the colors of the earth, the common ground. Threads the colors of all the people of the earth. Some threads are short, some are long. Each thread is different, each perfect and splendid. The threads are alive with sound and color. The threads are mutable. They change at a touch. The threads are crystal antennae. They respond to our thoughts. And intertwined with each thread is a blood red thread. A thread of such sensitivity it seems invisible. A thread of such vitality it can never be hidden. As our blood flows over and under the days and nights of our lives and binds each moment to the whole, so the red thread of the wise woman binds us in the tapestried cosmic web, in spirals lovingly around us in life and death. I see the old woman, the wise woman, and she sees me. She's old and walks with the aid of a beautifully carved stick. She's the ancient grandmother of us all. She's the one who brought me here. I've been following her traces for years, finding here and there a thread from her clothes, many of them still strong and vibrant, especially among Aboriginal women, earth-based women, women of earth colors, women of the mother cultures. The ancient wise woman speaks to me through each thread, each woman, each color, each glance. She speaks in song, in story, in dance. The wise old woman winks at me. The cunning old woman spreads her arms as if to embrace me, and I hear her say, "These are the ways of our ancient grandmothers, the ancient ones who still live. We are one with all of life in an ever-changing spiral. Every pain, every plant, every stone, every feeling, every problem is to be cherished as a teacher, not a teacher who grades, but a teacher who guides. Love the night for its darkness and the day for its light. Treasure uniqueness. This is the wise woman way, the world round. These are the ways of our ancient grandmothers, the ancient ones who still live. Eat with compassion, knowing that you will be food for others. View dying as a portal, just as birth is. Celebrate comings and goings. They are the turning. These are the ways of our ancient grandmothers, the ancient ones who still live. We spin the invisible web which weaves us all together. We invite you to weave the threads of your own life back into the cloak of the ancient ones. We urge you to reweave yourself with the sacred threads of nature, to remember your kinship with all. This is the wise woman way, the world round.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you're reading from what book? Tell us.
I am reading from Abundantly Well.
Your newest book, just published.
Right, and it's Abundantly Well, 7 Medicines, which is AWSM, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Right.
And so why did you write this book for us?
I wrote this book because, well, you know, when I first started working with herbs and alternative medicine, my teachers really saw themselves in a struggle against what I now call modern medicine. And it was like a war. And I saw, you know, teachers of mine say, I can't help you with herbs. You've already done chemotherapy. You've destroyed yourself. And I thought, this is so wrong. I don't want to be an alternative. I don't want to be against. I don't want to make war. We're all in it together, whether it's an MD or a chiropractor or an herbalist. We're trying to create healthier. Why don't we work together? So I coined the term complementary. That what I was doing was complementary medicine. Now, complementary medicine has had a good long run. And of course, they couldn't drop alternatives, so it became complementary alternative medicine, CAM. And that's fine, right? But over the past 5 years or so, complementary has been giving way very strongly to integrative. And that sounds really good, doesn't it? Integrative medicine. Well, that's great. We're going to just integrate everything together. We were just reading an article from the Sunday Times, the New York Times, about what's going on in China with the novel coronavirus. And the Chinese government is recommending the use of Western, right, drugs that counter things like HIV and AIDS, and the use of, what was it, the bovine palace serenity medicine or something like that, right?
It had pearls in it.
Which has pearls and buffalo horn, you know, and they're saying use this with those drugs, right? So to me, this is integrated medicine, right? And on the title page, you can see that that's what I did. I took integrative and I crossed out the IVE and put ED, integrated medicine, because what I'm seeing with integrative medicine, is people are getting a cancer diagnosis. They're being told, okay, you need surgery or you need chemotherapy or you need radiation, and they put them through the treatment and they say, and now you may want to go see a nutritionist or acupuncturist or a massage therapist. What? You need to be seeing those people all along. That's integrated medicine. Like the kind of idea has been, don't use herbs and drugs together, right? Because it's not safe. And the push there has been, don't use the herbs because the herbs aren't safe. And in the New York Times article, there were plenty of people who say, well, you know, we know what the drugs do, but we don't know what the herbs do, so the herbs aren't safe. Well, excuse me, we know that drugs aren't safe, right? So we're going to say we don't know that the herbs are safe, but we know the drugs aren't safe, and so let's use them? That has never made total sense to me, I must admit. Right? So I want to see people using herbs and all of the 7 medicines in an integrated way. Right? If you're getting radiation treatments and you go to an acupuncturist and that acupuncturist puts a needle right here at the top of conception vessel, you're going to feel like a teapot that somebody just took the lid off and all of the heat is going right out of your body. All right? Many people have just described this sensation to me, and acupuncturists as well, and they say, we can be so useful during the therapy. So this is why I wrote this book. I want people to get over it, to use as we
Sorry about the Zoom.
move through the 7 medicines. And the 7 medicines are serenity medicine, story medicine, mind medicine, lifestyle medicine, alternative medicine, pharmaceutical medicine, and deep medicine. The first 4 of those, serenity medicine, story medicine, mind medicine, and lifestyle medicine, what I call the foundational medicines. These are the ones we want to engage in every day of our life. They build the foundation of our health. And if we have an aberration from our health, if we have a bad diagnosis, if we're in an accident, those foundational medicines are going to help us get through that much better. There's a gap. And that gap is to remind us that when we go over the gap, we are no longer creating health. As soon as we are using alternative medicine, we are no longer building health. We might be preserving life, but we are not creating health. So let me read a little bit from the gap. Welcome to the gap. Stop. Reflect on the medicines that build your health. Serenity medicine, story medicine, energy medicine, and lifestyle medicine. Now look ahead at the medicines that can save your life. Alternative medicines, pharmaceutical medicines, and deep medicines. A gap is a space. The gap is the space between the first 4 medicines, the ones that keep us abundantly well, and the last 3 medicines, the ones that can protect us from death. Pause. A gap divides things. The great divide separates the 7 medicines into a safe half and a dangerous half. It separates the medicines that build health from those that erode health. The first 4 medicines improve your health with little or no harm. They are true preventative medicine. The last 3 medicines injure your health, sometimes to the point of disability or death, while aiming to preserve or lengthen your life. The gap alerts us and warns us. It reminds us that mortal danger lies on the far side, where diagnostic scans and screening tests posing as preventative medicine can ruin your health forever. In pursuit of staying alive, we resort to drugs, knives, radiation, chemicals. Trying to stave off death, we are severed, disconnected, dislocated. Your muscles, your mind, imagination. How can I get the most benefit from the last 3 medicines if I decide to cross the gap? And how can I protect myself from the inherent harms of these medicines? Set time limits. Set a return date. Do not linger on the far side of the gap. Be proactive. Take a friend. High on the Great Divide, the winds swirl and whirl, dust devils and tornadoes of pain, anxiety, stress, depression, poverty, loneliness, and low self-esteem can sweep us over the gap. Spiraling vortexes of mindfulness, gratitude, relationship, non-dual thinking, and self-worth keep us abundantly well and help us integrate healthy behaviors and thoughts if we must make a perilous journey to the far side. As a means of maintaining health and as preventative care, medicines on the far side do more harm than good. Though it is difficult to believe, every remedy on the far side of the gap injures us in some way, less If their use is infrequent, more with larger doses and repeated or habitual use. Ordinary healthcare for most Americans is strictly on the far side of the gap. Pharmaceutical and deep medicine with a little complementary alternative medicine thrown in is all there is for most people. With few exceptions, the practitioners of alternative pharmaceutical and deep medicines are not focused on your health. They are solving a problem. They are keeping you alive, and they are often making sure they aren't sued. When brought to the far side of the gap, the first four medicines become complementary integrated medicine.
Sorry.
The two sides of the divide work well together. Not only do the first four medicines create a healthy being who is less likely to suffer side effects from drugs, dyes, radiation, anesthesia, surgery, and infections, they are superb at moderating and countering the damage from far side medicines. A cartoon in the New Yorker shows a glowing, smiling, calm patient. The doctor says, "Are you messing around with alternative medicine?" Yes, we are. Medical studies attest to the effectiveness of the first four medicines for maintaining abundant health. Serenity medicine, story medicine, energy medicine, and lifestyle medicine are especially effective in restoring and maintaining healthy blood pressure, cardiovascular tone, mood, blood sugar, muscular and mental strength, flexibility, and concentration. The complementary integrated medicine revolution has helped a growing number of health professionals lay aside the beliefs that mind medicine and alternative medicine are nothing more than false hope and misguided good intention. When healers, doctors, and patients come together with integrated medicine, we are all that much nearer to being abundantly well.
Ah.
And then